So far we've been focusing more on the Mixolydian and Dorian licks for 2-5-1s in major keys. What about the minor keys? From dominant to diminished, the Sinti approach. Stochelo and the Sintis are the reference point for this transition from dominant to diminished. If you think about songs like Bossa Dorado or for Sephora, Stochelo is playing all the licks that expand the fretboard and help you to master the fingerboard. The reference point is usually the E7 chord. And here you can use the A shape, the G shape, the E shape, and mix them all together. That's the whole point. Let's go for it. A descending version of the lick, and now an ascending version of the lick. Notice that we're mainly focused on the A-shaped position, whether to go down the scale or up the scale. And we're focusing more on pure and simple diminished arpeggios as a basis. Of course, Django was the first one playing this kind of lick. Check out this 1947 lick that Django plays on Dark Eyes, A7. Also in his 1935 version of Blue Drag, Django was already playing this stuff. Of course, we want to transpose this beautiful lick that Django plays with open strings to any other key. In the upper octave, it would sound like this. Notice how this Blue Drag Django lick from 1935 sounds so similar to the 1947 lick that he plays on the fast-paced, fast-tempo Dark Eyes. In Dark Eyes, Django plays the ascending version. And in Blue Drag, he plays the descending, then ascending version. Dark Eyes, Blue Drag, and what about Nuages 1940? When you take this lick one octave up, you'll start connecting the dots. Check this out. Check out the three licks: Dark Eyes, Blue Drag, and Nuages. The three of them in A7, A shape, Dark Eyes. Blue Drag. And Nuages. All these three licks sound completely different because one is ascending, the other one is descending, and the other one is up and down. And the accents are different, and some of the notes are different, but the position is exactly the same. So inside the same position, you can get so many great licks. Here is an abstract of the three diminished positions. Over E7, A shape, G shape, and E shape. Get familiar with these positions. First play the chord, A shape. Where is the arpeggio? Here. G shape. Where is the arpeggio? And E shape. Where is the arpeggio? Now let's check out how Stochelo plays it. Bossa Dorado or E7. And for Sephora, it goes like this. So now the most important thing is to connect the positions, the A shape, the G shape, and the E shape, because Stochelo and in the Sinti approach, all of these three positions are interchangeable and will allow you to expand the fretboard and play all over the neck. E7, A shape, G shape, and E shape. Once you get to one position, there's a bunch of other licks that you can play. Check this out. Remember, I'll See You in My Dreams. Django plays this in D7. This one, D7, here's your E shape position in a descending fashion. If you go to Moppin a Bride, you can use the same approach, the same position in an ascending motion. The same position for I'll See You in My Dreams and for Mopping the Bride. Same position, but I'll See You in My Dreams, Django plays the descending version, and in Mopping the Bride he plays the ascending version. What about Stochelo? In Bossa Dorado, Stochelo plays this lick. This is quite an amazing lick because he's mixing a bunch of other licks. The for Sephora one, the melody on the B section of Bossa Dorado, Django's I'll See You in My Dreams. He connects these positions and extends them. Wouldn't it be great if you would connect these to Mopping the Bride? It's important to realize that Stochelo not only connects the A shape to the E shape, but also the G shape to the E shape. So you see that although the ending point is the same E7, the starting point can be the A shape or the G shape. Check out this loop. Montaigne Saint Genevieve is also a great one to study. If you take this lick and transpose it to any other key, you'll get the universal fingering. This is of course based on the E shape position. And you have a bunch of cool variations like this. Again, in Bossa Dorado, Stochelo plays this. Notice that you can start this kind of lick with the enclosure over the root, or chromatic approach to the root. Also notice that you can use natural 5 or flat 5, sharp 11. Stochelo plays it like this. And also in Bossa Dorado, Stochelo plays another variation. That goes to show that the possibilities are endless. Do you want another variation from Stochelo in Bossa Dorado? All his solo is based on this stuff. Another great one is Stochelo's approach for Sephora. B7. The unforgettable flamenco-based lick from Stochelo over for Sephora. Montaigne Saint Genevieve has two great licks over E shape of dominant chord. In B7, the quavers version goes like this. And the triplet version goes like this. Which one is your favorite? To end up this chapter, I'd like to share with you some tritone licks. E7 over the A shape. Also in E shape you have the tritone in B flat 7 in E shape. So right off the bat. If the starting point is the E shape, right here, we can go tritone, we can connect the A shape with the E shape with Paulus Schafer kind of lick. Paulus Schafer has a different approach. He mixes the A shape with the G shape, like this, in quavers. And in triplets.